Srichakra Varadacharyan Shuddhasattva Guruttamam Srinidhim Raghavam Vande Hyapara Karunakaram Agre Padukaya Dayabhyadikaya Parshvepi Bhumi Bhuva Vayor Atma Bhuva Padambuja Yugim Sangrinhata Sadaram Chatram Chamarayor Yuganchavahata Bhratritrayena Vritam Sarvatrapi Naresha Vanaraganaihi Ramam Bhaje Shyamalam Karmana Jivanam Chetkim Keshavasya Prayojanam Uttaram Tasya Vakshyami Canberra Hindu Sangame. A very good evening to all. At the outset, I wish to thank again Canberra Hindu Sangam for giving me this wonderful opportunity to deliver a 2-day discourse here in front of all of you, and it gives me immense pleasure to see you and address you all in this city of Canberra. And for today's topic also, I have to convey a second thanks to Canberra Hindu Sangam, because today's topic is an innovative, interesting and a different topic. The topic is, if karma decides everything in life, or Sanatana Dharmam has this exclusive concept. No other faith in this world has this concept of karma theory. Or Sanatana Dharmam says karma decides everything. Now our topic is, if karma decides everything, what is the role of God? If your own karma decides everything, what is the role of God? This is our topic. I would like to start this topic with a story. There was a man. His name was X. He had 4 friends. The friend's name was A, B, C and D. What, man? Don't they have any names? You are giving alphabets? No. The tolerance level of people has come down. If we name some person with some name and if he is portrayed in bad character, then people start fighting against me. So no names, only alphabets. So the person's name is X. 4 friends, A, B, C and D. The friend A, he always accompanies the person. A is actually a good man. But this fellow X, he never cared about A. He just neglected this first friend A. He had second friend B. This B was an influential person. So our X wanted to ensure that he always has the association of B, because he is influential. He can bail out him in whatever tough situations he gets trapped in. So he just maintains a friendship with B. And then he has got his third friend C. This C is a wealthy man. That's why our fellow X, he wants to have his association. He is very wealthy. Often we can get some money from him. For that, he has some kind of friendship with that C. And then finally D. This D always accompanies this man X. D appears very handsome. So our man X thought that this D is my true friend. And X went to the extent that my whole life is dedicated to D only. D always comes with me. D is always there with me. My whole life is for D only. So for A is a true well-wisher, but he ignores him. B is an influential person. Just because he is an influential person, our X has some friendship with him. C is a rich, wealthy person. Just because of his wealth, our A enjoys friendship with him. D, he appears very handsome. He appears to come with him. That's why our A thinks that our X thinks that my total life is dedicated to D only. Now the time comes. Yama, the god of death, he casts his whip on this X and tries to pull this X towards Yamalokam. At that time, whom will this X call? He has 4 friends, A, B, C, D. Who can he call? D, because he loved that D very much. He thinks that I am living for that D only. So he calls, oh D, come with me. D said, death is for you, not for me. You go, I won't come. When Yama calls you, you should go, man. Why should I come with you? I won't come, you go alone. Oh my God. He then calls out for C. C, please come with me. C said, C, if you want any money, I can help. But just friends may say, I am a friend for your life. But for that matter, can I give my life to you? No. I will seek a different friend. I will go away. You go to Yamalokam. He called his friend B. Oh, B, please come with me. B said, my influence can work in this world only. My influence won't work out in Yamalokam. I may be an influential person, man. But even I have to face my death. So, my influence will not work out in Yamalokam. You please go away. Now finally this X did not call A, but out of his own will, A accompanied this X and went to Yamalokam. Now what is the purpose of this story? We thought that you will speak something about karma, God, but you are telling some story, X, A, B, C, D. Now, who is this X? Who is A? Who is B? Who is C? Who is D? X is none but all of us, Jivatmas. We are all that man X. We have got 4 friends A, B, C, D. D is our body. D is very handsome. He always accompanies X. This fellow thinks that he is living for that friend D only. Similarly, this body looks good. We think that we are living for this body only. We develop biceps, we develop six packs, and we take care of this body very well. But when Yama comes and takes this Jivatma, this D will not accompany this X. This body will not accompany Jivatma. Body will be here, Jivatma has to go. Now coming to the third friend C. Will C accompany? Who is that C? C is nothing but our wealth, riches, whatever we have earned. Will that riches, will that C accompany us when Yama comes to us? No. It will say, whenever you needed money, whenever you wanted to buy something, I helped. But for that matter, can I come you along with you when you go to Yamalokam? No, I won't come with you. So C will not come. It will go to some other person. So wealth will be gone to somebody else. Now who is that B? Our friends and relatives, they may be influential, they may help us whenever we are in need, but their influence will work out only in this lokam. But when we go to Yamalokam, relatives won't come with us. So D is our body, C is our wealth, B is our relatives, they don't come with us. But A is our karma, our punyam and papam, our merits and our sins. Whether you believe it or not, whether you accept it or not, whether you care about it or not, our merits and sins, our punyam and papam will definitely accompany us after birth. This has been said by Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Artha Bhaga asks Yajnavalkya, who accompanies a man after death? It's $1 million question. Who accompanies a man after death? Any answers? Who will karma? Yajnavalkya answers, Tauha yaduchatuh karma haiva taduchatuh karma haiva tat prashangsatuhu punyo vai punyena karmana bhavati pap of papena iti. Yajnavalkya answers, if a person does punyam, if a person does meritorious deeds, the good effects of those meritorious deeds accompany him even after death, even to the next birth, and give him good results. But if a person commits a sin, the bad effects of that sin will accompany him even after death and even will give him bad results in his subsequent births. So whatever good or bad we do, they accompany us even after death. So what we are today are past sins or punyams. Merit refers to punyam. Sin refers to papam. Our merits are sins. Papam or punyam, that decides our fate today. So whatever we have done already, that what makes us today. This is said by Kaniyan Pungundranar in Purananuru also. In the Tamil literature, Purananuru, you might have heard one song, Yadum Ure Yavarum Kelir. The very next line, Teedum Nandrum Perantaravara. Yadum Ure Yavarum Kelir has been written in United Nations by Tamil poet Kaniyan Pungundranar in Purananuru. Yadum Ure Yavarum Kelir, Teedum Nandrum Perantaravara, Nodalum Piridalum Avatrodanna, Sadalum Puduvadu Andro Valdal, Inidena Magindandrum Yelame, Innada Yennalum Yelame, Pinnoruvanam Tanduli Talayayadu, Kalporu Derangum Mallal Periatru, Nirvadipaduvum Punaibolaruyir Nerevadipaduvum Yenbadu Teravor, Katchiyil Telindalam, Adilan Machiyin Periorai Viyatal Yelame, Siriorai Herdal, Adaninum Yelame, Kaniyan Pungundranar says in Purananuru. So, our deeds, whatever we do, that decides our life. That summarized crisply in English as you sow, so you reap. As you sow, so you reap. To remember this, I will tell you one more incident. There was a farmer, he was going by the side of a Scottish lake. A rich man was drowning in the Scottish lake. The farmer immediately rushed to his help. The farmer rescued the drowning rich man from that lake. The rich man thanked the farmer, and the rich man offered some money to the farmer. But the farmer refused to receive the money. Rather, that farmer requested the rich man, I have saved your life. If you want to do something in reciprocation, please give good education to my son. The rich man accepted. I will sponsor your son's education totally. The rich man accepted. And he made the son of the poor farmer study in a great school. That son graduated and he became a scientist called Alexander Fleming. That Alexander Fleming, he later discovered penicillin. That rich man, he then fell ill due to pneumonia. It was due to bacterial infection. The same Alexander Fleming, who read because of his sponsorship, he devised penicillin and used that penicillin to treat that rich man. It is said that that rich man was Sir Winston Churchill. So you help one person first. He was drowning. This farmer helps him. What you do comes to you in return. He gives education for your son. He has given education for one boy. That boy comes up as a scientist. He finds a medicine and he treats your own illness. So this shows that whatever we do to others, the same thing comes back to us. So as you sow, so you reap. That's why they say karma is a boomerang. Karma is a boomerang. If you throw a boomerang, it will come with the same speed back to you. If you throw a ball on the wall, it will come with the same speed back to you. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. That holds good for karma theory. Now our question is, if this karma alone decides everything in life, what is the role of God? What is the role of God? Any answers from your side? Because yesterday you asked me a lot of questions. Now it's my turn. Now with two examples, one X, A, B, C, D, one example. Number two, Alexander Fleming and Winston Churchill. Now you tell me, when these things decide everything, because the children have to warm up, right? So before they warm up, you tell me what is the role of God, or what could be the role of God. Aha. Okay, then? Yes, one point. Any other thing? Actually, God has three roles. So from this point, we split this discourse into three parts. God has three roles. One, in the performance of karma, God has a role. Two, in giving result to your karma, God has a role. Three, in getting rid of your karma also, God has a role. So God has three roles. One, in the performance of karma. Two, in giving result to your karma. Three, in getting rid of your karma. God totally has three roles. Now let us see all the three one by one. Now, first one, God has an important role in the performance of karma. What is the role of God? Because we are all jivatmas, individual souls, right? We are not this body. That's why we used to say, sir, my body is not well. Whenever we say my body, I am a person who is distinctly different from this body. Just like we say my mobile phone, my home, my pen, we say my body. So I am not this body. We are all individual souls. It is a jivatma. Can a jivatma do any work on its own? Can a jivatma, mere jivatma, soul jivatma, can it do any work on its own? Means no. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, totally 5 agents are needed to execute one action. To execute a single action, 5 people, 5 agents are needed. Who are those 5 agents? Krishna says, first you need a body. This Jivatma souls, it needs a body to function. Number 2, the soul should be present within the body. That's more important. A corpse cannot act. A dead body cannot work. So, a soul should be present within that body. This is number 2. Number 3, Krishna says, we should have healthy organs and body parts. All our parts of our body, our muscles, joints, tendons, bones, they should be working. So, all the organs should be working in unison with each other for the body to function. Number 4, the systems inside our body, they should function properly, be it a respiratory system or circulatory system, nervous system. Most importantly, in discourses, nervous system should work well, because otherwise people may feel sleepy. So everything has to work in unison with each other. Number 5, God's grace. God's grace should be there. So Krishna says there are 5 agents required to execute one single task. The first agent is body, second agent is the soul jivatma within the body, third agent is organs of the body, parts of the body, fourth agent is our breath and our systems within the body, fifth agent is God's grace. Only if they work in unison with each other. Just take the example of a doctor and a patient. A doctor wants to give treatment to a patient. For that, are a doctor and patient alone enough? Or a doctor and patient alone enough to give treatment? No. The doctor needs a place called clinic or a hospital, because in that place he should have a serene, sterile, private environment to examine his patient. He needs a place. And then he needs instrument, he needs stethoscope. Only when a doctor wears stethoscope, people will accept that he is a doctor. Though the patient may have cracks in his foot, but if the doctor doesn't keep the stethoscope on the chest of the patient won't accept him as a doctor. So he needs instruments like stethoscopes, sphygmomanometer, thermometer, everything he has to use. So instruments are needed. And he needs laboratory to check blood sugar levels, to check cholesterol, to check thyroid levels, to check hemoglobin, to have urine tests, ECG, X-ray. He needs laboratory. And then this doctor should have his clinical knowledge and experience, and he should put them into practice. Then only a doctor can treat a patient. So, to treat a patient, mere doctor is not enough. He needs a place called clinic, he needs instruments, he needs a laboratory, and he needs clinical knowledge and experience. Only when these four join with a doctor, patient receives treatment. Similarly, Jivatma is a doctor. He needs a clinic called body. Dwelling place, clinic. This is body, is clinic for Jivatma. He needs instruments, which are nothing but our organs. He needs a laboratory, which is our systems working within. He needs clinical knowledge, which is nothing but God's grace. Finally, he executes the treatment, which is nothing but the action. That's what Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, 14th verse. You can refer in Google. 18th chapter, 14th verse of Bhagavad Gita, Adhishtanam tatha karta, karanam cha pratak vidham, vividha cha pratak cheshta, daivam chaivatra panchamam. Krishna says, Adhishtanam, you need a base, body to support you, Adhishtanam. Karta means performer, doer, he is Jivatma. Karanam means organs, we need all our organs and body parts to function. This is the third agent. Number 4, Vividacha Pratak Cheshta. We need our prana, vital breath, as well as the organ systems working within. All they have to work well. Then only we can accomplish a task. And finally, Daivam Chaivatra Panchamam. We need Daivam, God's grace. So, body, soul, external organs, internal organ systems, along with God's grace, when they function together, one action can be accomplished. Now you say, we are doing a karma, but does God have a role in it? Yes, he has one of those 5 roles. Just look at these 5 things mentioned by Krishna. First thing is body. Jivatma needs a body to act. That's why Mahakavi Kalidasa in Kumara Sambhavam, 5th chapter, 33rd verse of Kumara Sambhavam, Mahakavi Kalidasa says, Sharira Madhyam Kalu Dharma Sadhanam. Body is the vehicle for Jivatma. If the soul wants to accomplish anything, you need a vehicle. If you want to go to Sydney from Canberra, you need a vehicle. Similarly, the soul needs a vehicle. That vehicle is our body. Number 2, Jivatma. This Jivatma is a doer. He is the performer. Because Bhagavan has given us knowledge, he has given us free will to act. Whenever we say free will, people will ask, how much is that free will? Do we have that free will? What is the quantity of that free will? We have got one standard answer for that. Yes, we have got free will. Okay, we have got free will, okay. What is the amount of that free will? What is the extent of that free will? We have got one standard example. You tie a cow using a rope with a pillar. You tie a cow using a rope to a pillar. Now, how long can the cow move around? Whatever is the length of the rope, to that much radius, the cow can move around the pillar for grazing. Similarly, this Jivatma soul, God dwells within the soul and controls this Jivatma like a pillar. Jivatma is the cow. Whatever is the length of the rope, the cow can move around, but beyond that rope, the cow cannot move. Similarly, God dwelling within, controlling us, has given a limited free will, which is only up to the level of control of God. Beyond his control, we cannot do anything. So, he has given us a limited free will. With this body, with this mind, with this intellect, with these organs, whatever we can do with that rope. He has given a limited free will, but we can never go beyond that rope. We can never go beyond the control of God. So within his own control, he has given us intellect, he has given us organs, he has given us free will. So subject to God's control, we have that free will to perform. So we are the doer. So we have a vehicle called body. We are the performer, doer. Two things over. Number 3, our organs. Krishna says we need karanam. We need different organs, hands, legs, head, different organs we need. They are needed to perform an action. So this is number 3. Number 4, our life breath, vital airs, prana we say. We have got 5 vital airs in our body. Prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. While doing parishechanam, while having food, we say pranaya swaha, apanaya swaha, vyanaya swaha, udanaya swaha, samanaya swaha. 5 vital airs in our body. Prana regulates respiration. Apana regulates digestion and excretion. Vyana regulates blood circulation. Udana regulates throat articulation. Samana keeps everything in equilibrium. So prana for respiration, apana for digestion and excretion, vyana for blood circulation, udana for throat articulation, samana for equilibrium. We need these 5 vital airs to function. Only if they are functioning properly, we can do any action. If our body health does not cooperate, what can we do? I had one Friday patient. When I was working in a government hospital, I had one Friday patient. He was a 75-year-old man. Every Friday at 7:30 a.m. as my outpatient department opens, this 75-year-old man, he will get the first token and come to me. The first Friday, he got the first token at 7:30 a.m. 75-year-old man came to me. I asked him, welcome sir, what's your problem? He said, sir, I pass urine frequently. Please check whether I have diabetes or not. I prescribed sugar tests. He went there, tested sugar, came back, his sugar was normal. I reassured him, sir, you just rest assured, you don't have diabetes, you may go. He went back. Next Friday, same 7:30 a.m., first token, the very same person came back to me and he told me, sir, I am often having giddiness and dizziness, please check my blood pressure. I checked my blood pressure, it was normal. I reassured him, you please rest assured, you don't have blood pressure. He went away. The next Friday, same 7:30 a.m., first token, he came back to me and he told me, sir, I am having frequent abdominal pain. Please do an USG abdomen and check whether I have stones in my kidney or not. Okay, prescribed USG abdomen. He went there, came back with report. It was normal. I told him, you do not have any stones in kidney. Please go back. Next Friday, again he came, 7:30 a.m., same patient, first token. He told me, sir, often I have difficulty in swallowing. Please check whether I have thyroid disorder or not. I was just shocked. Usually patients describe their symptoms only. But this person describes symptoms as well as he gives the investigation and diagnosis also. I am having frequent urination, please check me for diabetes. I am having giddiness, check me for hypertension. I am having abdominal pain, check me for kidney stone. I am having difficulty in swallowing, check me for thyroid problem. How can this person give diagnosis also, investigation also, everything? Okay, I again gave him thyroid test. He went, he checked, came back. His thyroid was normal. I told him, sir, please don't watch TV on Thursdays. This was the only medical advice given. Please don't watch television on Thursdays. The next Friday, first token, he did not come. Do you know what's the secret? Every Thursday, night 10:30 p.m., there is a TV show called Doctor's Time TV show. A doctor will appear on TV and he will describe all diseases and their symptoms. But this fellow, after 11 p.m., he keeps on thinking, oh, today doctor has come on TV, he has described such and such disease with such and such symptoms. The nature of human mind is, whenever we read about symptoms of any disease, our mind will assume that we are having all those symptoms. So after 11 p.m., this man without sleep, he is keep on thinking, and the next morning he thinks that he has all those symptoms. Doctor himself has prescribed investigation, diagnosis, everything. With that TV program residual effect, he is come to me the next morning. So I told him, please don't watch TV on Thursday nights. The next Friday, he did not come. So this shows that everything has to work in unison with each other. Otherwise, we will become confused. That's why Krishna says all vital layers, all systems, they have to work for you to execute an action properly. This is number 4, our vital layers and the system working within. Number 5 is God's grace. You need God's grace for the performance of your work. So we have got body, soul, and then external organs, vital layers and internal organs. Now number 5 comes God. If we say God is also a part of all our actions, now we will have 3 questions. What are those 3 questions? If God has a role in all our actions, does God have a role in our sins also? Right? Because we have brought 5 people, they are all the agents. Because if you want to punish somebody for a sin, then you have to punish God also for the sin. Because he is also involved in the sin. He is also 1/5 partner. 20% partner he is also. So should he be punished for our sins? Then why should God cooperate when we do a sin? This is the third question. So, does God have a role in our sins? If so, should God be punished for our sins? Then why should God allow us to do the sins? Why can't he stop us? For this, answer has been given in the Parayattadhikaranam of Brahma Sutram. Vedavyasa has explained Paratu Tat Shrutehe. For this, there are 3 kinds of explanation. Confining myself to the topic, I will give you one explanation which was given by Vadikesari Azhagiyamadavalajiyer in his work Deepa Prakasha. He explains this concept. Now, what is the role of God? First 4 roles we have understood. Body, soul is the doer, and then he has got organs, vital breaths, and our systems are functioning. Now, 5th, God. What is the role of God? Whenever you perform any action, the role of God is in 3 stages. The first stage, you take a decision to do an action, to any work, to perform any action, you take a decision. That is the first stage. In that first stage, God remains indifferent because God has already given you intellect. God has already given you free will. Now it is up to you to use. So God just remains indifferent. Indifference is the activity of God in the first stage. Now second stage, once you have taken a decision, God permits you to proceed. Whether your decision is good or bad, God doesn't worry about that. Because you have been given that intellect. You have been given enough experience. Now it's up to you to choose. If you choose a bad thing or a good thing, God just permits in the second stage. But the difference comes in the third stage. If you have taken a good decision, if you want to do a meritorious deed, if you want to do a punyam, God gets pleased. Oh, this fellow has utilized all the things I have given in a positive manner. He wants to do a punyam. So God gets pleased and he encourages you to do more of that punyam. He takes you forward in that punyam. But if you wish to perform, if your decision is to perform a sinful deed, if you wish to perform a papam, God feels sorry. Oh, I gave everything to him, yet he has chosen a wrong path. So God just waits for us to mend ourselves. Because we have got this brain, right? We have been given 6th sense, right? So God waits for us to mend ourselves. If we don't mend ourselves, even after some time, God gives us punishment for that evil deed which we had done. So in 3 stages, in the first stage, decision making, God just remains indifferent and sees what decision we make. At the second stage, he just permits whatever good or bad, whatever decision you make, he just permits. So first indifference, second permission, the third stage only, he encourages you if you do good deed. If you do a bad deed, Bhagavan just watches and punishes if you don't mend yourself at the right time. So this is called reward punishment formula. One person asked, why this complex formula? Yesterday discourse itself was easy. Today it becomes very tough. Reward punishment formula and all. Why reward punishment formula? Why God does like this is, if God himself decides everything and leaves nothing to your free will, then what is the use of all our scriptures and shastrams? What is the use of all these acharyas who have incarnated on this earth? What is the use of our brain? What is the use of our free will? Everything will have no purpose at all. Bhagavan has given us Shastras. Bhagavan has given us great Acharyas to teach those Shastras. Once he has given us everything, a good teacher will expect the student to follow everything properly. He will give chance to the student to experiment. He will give multiple opportunities to the student. If the student does not mend himself, then the teacher will punish the student and then correct him. Similarly, Bhagavan has given us everything. He has given us Shastras. But it's our problem if we don't know Shastras, if we haven't learned from Acharyas, that's a different problem of ours. But Bhagavan has given us everything. All resources are available. He has shown us the way. This is the way to go. This is good. This is bad. Everything has been shown by Bhagavan. So, if everything has been given by him, at least we have to use our intellect to some extent, at least to decide which is good and which is bad. We have to choose. For that, we have to use our intellect and free will. If we are not prepared to use that, then there is no use of giving all these things. If God himself will decide everything, then all our Shastras should turn towards Bhagavan and give advice to him. Bhagavan, you correct him. Bhagavan, you correct that person. Bhagavan, you correct the child who is crying outside. Bhagavan, you ensure that the child is not playing. All advice should be given to Bhagavan. But Shastras don't give advice to Bhagavan. Shastras are giving advice to human beings only. Acharyas give upadesham to human beings only because we have got intellect, we have got free will, so we have to use it. So the first stage, so the other four are clear. For the fifth agent God, at the first stage, he just observes as a silent spectator, as a witness. At the second stage, he permits whatever decision you take. In the third stage only, if it is a good action, he encourages and takes you forward. But if it is a bad action, then he will punish you. Some people asked me, okay, God will punish for bad actions, for us to mend ourselves, okay. How can we know that what is the punishment given for which action? Because we might have committed a lot of sins. We don't know even if we experience a sorrow in our life. For that in texts like Garuda Puranam, it is mentioned, for all such and such sins, you will get such and such benefits or sorrows in your life. Okay, how can we find it out? Actually, it is a very difficult calculation. It is very difficult to correlate all those things because Bhagavan alone can calculate. But we can do one thing. Swami Vivekananda answered this in a beautiful and practical way. Your past karma decides your present life. That's accepted. Okay. Then your future is decided by current karma. So instead of thinking about which karma took me to this state, which karma gave me this sorrow, instead of thinking about that, today you have got this present. It is a gift of God. That's why it is called present. Present means gift. This is a gift given by God. So utilize this present and start doing good activities. If you start doing so, then your future will be good. If your past decides your present, then your present decides your future. So start doing good things at this point. When I was doing MBBS in Erode Medical College, on the compound wall of that college hospital, 3 lines would be written in Tamil. நேற்று என்பது உடைந்த பானை, நாளை என்பது மதில்மேல் பூனை, இன்று என்பது கையில் உள்ள வீணை. My friend asked me to translate it into English. நேற்று என்பது உடைந்த பானை, நாளை என்பது மதில்மேல் பூனை, இன்று என்பது கையில் உள்ள வீணை. I gave him a translation. Yesterday is a broken pot. Tomorrow is may or may not. Today strike the rod that is hot. So yesterday is a broken pot. It's already broken. Tomorrow is may or may not. We are not sure. But today strike the rod that is hot. So today the present is there in our hands. So if we utilize this properly, then definitely our future will be good. So what we understood is we need a body. This Jivatma has to function within the body, and then we should have all the parts and organs. Similarly, the systems within have to function. Finally, God's grace is the fifth component of the performance of every action. But the slight difference here is, if you do a meritorious deed or punyam, it's your effort plus God's grace. Because if you do one punyam, God just encourages you, He takes you forward, He blesses you more and takes you forward in that punyam. So a punyam is your effort with God's grace. But if you commit a sin, if you commit a wrong deed, if it is a bad deed, if it is a papam, God watches, He waits for you to mend yourself. If not, He will punish you. So sin is purely because of our own decision. That's why when we get success in our lives, Success is also due to karma only, partially due to karma only. But when we get success in lives, we thank God also, because it is not only our effort, God's blessing has also added to our effort. That's why when we get success, we thank God. But when we get failure, we cannot blame God, because failure is because of our own sins. Because our sins, there is no part of God in it. He just permits and watches. We alone committed that sin. That's why we have to blame ourselves if we fail in our lives. But if we get success, definitely we should have done some meritorious deeds, and that meritorious deed will definitely have the part of God's blessing also. That's why we thank God whenever we get anything. I will like to quote one example to make you understand this better. Brahma performed a yajnam, sacrifice, yaga, in Kanchipuram. You might have heard Satyavrata Kshetram in Tamil Nadu, in Bharata Desham, Kanchipuram. Brahma performed a good meritorious act, punyam, yagam. But Brahma and Saraswati had a small quarrel between them. So Saraswati did not come to the yagam along with Brahma. See, husband-wife quarrels were there with Brahma and Saraswati also. In every home it is there. In Brahma and Saraswati, between them also, there was a small quarrel. Saraswati did not come for the yagam. But with Vasishta's assistance, Brahma made alternative arrangements and he performed the yagam. But the demons, asuras, they don't like whatever good thing you do, there will be at least 4 people in every place. They don't like all good things. Those asuras, they wanted to destroy this yajnam of Brahma. So, those asuras covered Kanchipuram with darkness, sunlight, moonlight, light of lightning, light of stars. Nothing can enter into Kanchipuram. Entire Kanchipuram was surrounded with darkness. These asuras created such a great problem for Brahma's yajnam. Brahma could not proceed with his yagam. Immediately Brahma called, "O Lord Narayana, Paramatma, Bhagavan, please help me." Immediately Narayana appeared in Kanchipuram as Deepa Prakasha. You can see that temple, Deepa Prakasha temple in Kanchipuram. Just like when power goes off, we switch on inverter. Similarly, in Kanchipuram, it was dark due to current cut like that. So, Bhagavan came as inverter or generator and he came as Deepa Prakasha. He gave light to Brahma and Brahma performed the yagam. Asuras did not stop with that. Those asuras carried a lot of weapons and tried to destroy the Yagashala of Brahma. Again, Brahma called, "Oh Narayana, please help me." Narayana came as Ashtabhuja Perumal. You can see in Kanchipuram, Lord Ashtabhuja, with 8 hands. Grahagraste Dvipendre Rudati Sarabhasam Tarkshyamaruhya Dhavan Vyaghurnan Malyabhusha Vasana Parikaro Meghagambhira Goshaka Abibrano Rathangam Chakra disc, Sharam arrow, Asim sword, Abhayam, this hand showing, don't worry, he says with his hand, Abhayam, Shanka, conch, Chapau, bow, Saketau, shield, Hastai Kaumodakim, mace or gada. So Abibrano, Rathangam, Sharam, Asim, Abhayam, Shanka, Chapau, Saketau, Hastai Kaumodakim, Apyavatu Harirasau, Angasam, Sanghaternaha. With 8 hands, 8 weapons, Bhagavan appeared and he destroyed all those asuras. He defeated them and the asuras went back. Still the asuras did not stop. They all went to Saraswati Devi. "See, your husband Brahma is doing yagam without you. Can you encourage him? Just go and stop the yagam. Fight with him." So Saraswati came in the form of a river called Vegavati river. That Vegavati came with so much water that flood will just destroy the Yagashala. But Brahma, he again asked, "Oh Paramatma, Bhagavan, Narayana, please save me." Now Narayana came as a dam in between the river. Dam across the river. He is called Vega Setu. Setu means dam. Even today we can see in Kanchipuram, Vega Setu, Lord. Setu means dam. Vegavati river was coming, it was flowing. Saraswati flowed as that Vegavati river. Lord Narayana reclined across the river as a dam. Just like dam stopping a river, Bhagavan stopped Saraswati. He then convinced Saraswati, "Please don't fight with your husband." He also convinced Brahma, "Please respect your wife." And then he joined Brahma and Saraswati together. Together they performed the yagam, completed the yagam. As they completed the yagam, in that Yagashala, from that holy fire, Bhagavan appeared as Attivaradar. You might have had darshan of that Lord. He comes out once in 40 years, stay for 48 days, and then he will go back to that Pushkarini called Anantasaras. That Attivaradar appeared in that fire of the altar of Brahma. Now you say, Who performed the yagam, Brahma or Bhagavan? Brahma or Bhagavan? Yes, Brahma performed the yagam. When you perform a good act, whatever obstacles come in the way, Bhagavan gives full support. When there was power cut, that is, darkness surrounded Kanchipuram, he came as generator or inverter and gave power supply and light. Similarly, when they came to fight with weapons, Bhagavan came with 8 weapons and fought against them. When Saraswati comes as a river, Bhagavan comes as a dam. Similarly, if you wish to do one good thing, Bhagavan supports you to the fullest extent and ensures that your good action which you have begun gets completed without any hurdles, without any obstacles. At the same time, Indra, we all know about Indra. Indra went to the hermitage of sage Gautama and misbehaved with his wife Ahalya and received curse for it. Who is responsible for it? Indra alone is responsible. Here Bhagavan is not responsible because Indra committed error of his own free will. He did not use his intellect properly. So just note the difference. Yes, of course, God gives result for our karmas. God has a role to play in our karmas. But what kind of role? If you do a good thing, if it is a meritorious deed, Bhagavan comes near us. He helps us. He encourages us. He takes us forward. If you wish to do some donation, for charity, we have got lot of sponsor for this program also. Not only this, whatever Canberra Hindu Sangam does, many sponsors come and support. Many people, philanthropists, they support. If we do such good things, Bhagavan also gives us more money. Okay, he is using that money for good things. Let me give him more money. So Bhagavan supports. At the same time, if we do something wrong, if we commit a sin, there Bhagavan has no role. He just observes and he feels sorry. Oh my God, I gave you everything, but you are not using it properly. Let me see if you mend yourself. Otherwise, let me punish you. That's why we say success has our efforts plus God's grace. Failure has our own sins as the reason, and God is only a witness who is waiting for us to mend. People ask, why can't He mend us? He is all powerful, right? Yes, of course He is all powerful. But if He Himself does everything, there will be no use for the free will and intellect which He has given to us. There will be no use for Shastras. So He just waits. Of course, He often sends Acharyas. He often sends great souls. He Himself incarnates, but He ultimately leaves the decision to us. That's the nature of a good teacher. He ultimately leaves the decision to the student. I have taught you everything. Now you decide. Similarly, Bhagavan shows us everything, but ultimately leaves it for us to decide. So, during the performance of karma, if it is a good deed, Bhagavan gives his full support and grace as well. If it is a bad deed also, it's Bhagavan who permits us but waits. So, in the performance of karma, Bhagavan has a role. Part 1 is over. Among 3 parts, part 1 is over. Now, coming to the second part. Bhagavan has an important role in the result of the karma. Who gives result for all our karma? In karma theory, we say whatever we do, it comes back to us. Who gives it back to us? It's Bhagavan, because usually we say hard work always pays dividend. Yes, hard work pays dividend. But are all hardworking people getting dividends? No, we don't see that in this world. Just take for example, the churning of Milky Ocean. Amrita Manthanam. You might have heard that history in our Puranas. Devas, Asuras, they churned the Milky Ocean. They put Mandara mountain as the rod. They held the Vasuki snake as the rope. Devas held the tail part of the snake. Asuras held the head part of the snake. And they all churned the Milky Ocean. But who received the nectar or Amritam? Devas. Is there any difference between the efforts put by Devas and Asuras? No. They were also pulling the rope. Asuras were also pulling the rope. Both pulled the rope in the same manner only. But Devas got the Amritam elixir. Asuras did not get the Amritam elixir. Effort is same, but result is different. Why? Who said? Intent. Intent is the answer. Because Bhagavan looks at your mindset. It is Bhagavan who gives result for your karma. While giving result to your karma, Bhagavan looks at your intent or mindset. If with a pure heart, with a devotional, dedicated heart, with a heart dedicated to serving people, if you do a hard work, Bhagavan will give full result. But if you do the same hard work with evil intentions, Bhagavan will not give the benefit. That's why it's God who gives the result or the fruit for whatever karma you do. This is said in Srimad Bhagavata Puranam. There is a shloka. Evam surasura ganaha samadesha kale hetvartha karma matayopi phale vikalpaha tatra amritam suraganav phalamanjasapuhu yatpada pankaja rajas shrayananna daityaha. Devas also pulled the same rope. Asuras also pulled the same rope, but Devas received the elixir. Asuras did not receive anything. The reason is Devas had good intentions. Asuras did not have good intention. So, mere hard work will not work in karma theory. Your intention matters, and based on your intention only, Bhagavan gives you phalan. Take for example, I just switch on the switch for the light. I switch on the switch, yet the light does not glow. Then what does it mean? There is no power supply. In India and all, often we have current cuts. I am not sure about Australia. In India, even for squirrel, they say squirrel is jumping over all the current lines, though there is current cut. So, I switch on the switch, but light does not glow. What does it mean? Means power supply is not there. So, there is a third factor called power supply. I may switch on the switch, yet light does not glow, because there is a third factor called current, electric current. Similarly, I may put in hard work, but result may not come. There is a third factor like current called Bhagavan. He has to give the result. So, it is ultimately Bhagavan who decides. That's why there is a proverb, man proposes, God disposes. My friend, renowned stand-up comedian Mr. Bosky, many of you might have seen him. Bosky used to say, they say man proposes, God disposes. No. God proposes, God disposes. Man poses, we just give pose only. So God proposes, God disposes, man poses. So ultimately electric current is needed. If there is no current, there is no use of switching on the switch. You won't get light at all. So if you want to switch on the switch, the basic requisite is current should be there. Similarly, for your hard work to yield dividend, first God's grace should be there. When will God shower His grace? Based on your intention. If your intentions are good, if you do that good work with good intention, Bhagavan is definitely pleased to give you the desired result. But if we have bad intentions, Bhagavan will not do. So coming to the same example, Devas pulled the same rope, Asuras pulled the same rope, but Devas had good intentions, they got elixir. Asuras had bad intentions, evil intentions, so they did not get the elixir. So the result, it depends on your mindset, and that based on that mindset only, Bhagavan gives you the result. So karma does not give you result. It's actually Bhagavan who gives you result. This is the important role of God. Now in performance we saw the role of God. Now in getting the result for your performance also, God plays the most important role. This has been mentioned by Vedavyasa in Brahma Sutram, Phalam Ata Upapattehe. Phalam Ata Upapattehe. For the performance we saw Brahma Sutram, Paratu Tat Shrutehe. Everything is based on Upanishads and Brahma Sutras only, all these definitions. So the first thing, during your performance also, God's role is there. Paratu Tat Shrutehe. In the result also, God sees your intention and gives you result, because to give result for a karma, there should be a conscious, cognizant person who is all knowing, who should watch all your karma, who should be able to grasp your mental mindset and all, and give you phalan or the result. That for that thing, God alone can do it. So phalam ata upapattehe, God alone can give this. God alone gives fruit based on your activity. Now to keep this in mind, I will give you one example. You will never forget this. There was a greengrocer in Sydney. In Sydney, small scale market, there was a greengrocer. In Sydney, there were a lot of sweet potatoes. This fellow, what he did was, he used to donate 1 kilogram of sweet potatoes to one poor person every day. because he learned from our discourse that charity is very good. So he used to donate 1 kilo, a small scale farmer in greengrocer in Sydney, he used to donate 1 kilogram of sweet potatoes to one poor person every day. He went on and on and on like that. In the next birth, this fellow was born as a great emperor. This emperor had lot of wealth, lot of riches, huge palace, everything. This emperor went to a saint and asked the saint, I wish to know about my previous birth. The saint told him, in your previous birth, you are a small scale greengrocer in Sydney market. But because of charity or donation, you just donated 1 kilogram of sweet potato to one poor person per day. As a result of which, you have become an emperor today. He was taken aback. Oh my God! Donation has this much benefit. Let me do one thing. He went back to the palace. He summoned his ministers. Buy all small sweet potatoes in the market. Buy all sweet potatoes in the market. They bought all sweet potatoes and brought to the palace. He said, I am going to donate many sweet potatoes to many poor people every day for many days. Because donating 1 kilo sweet potato to one poor person per day made me an emperor. I will donate many kilogram of sweet potatoes to many poor people for many days. He started giving. And then from that day onwards, people could not buy sweet potato in market at all. Because everything was brought by the palace itself. In the next birth, the same person, he was born as a wholesale greengrocer in Melbourne market. But this time a wholesale greengrocer. This time he went to a saint. He requested the saint, can you please check me the details about my previous births? The saint told him, initially you were a small scale greengrocer in Sydney market. You donated 1 kg sweet potato to one poor person per day, as a result of which you became an emperor. After becoming an emperor, you donated many kgs of sweet potatoes to many poor people for many days, as a result of which you became a whole-scale greengrocer. No, this I can't accept. If I donate many sweet potatoes to many people, I should have become the emperor of emperors. Why should I become greengrocer again? He said, based on your mindset only. More than your work mindset matters. Being a greengrocer, donating 1 kg of sweet potato per day is a good donation. But even after becoming an emperor, your mindset is focused on sweet potato only, then you will become a wholesale greengrocer only. So now you tell me, can the karma, that action by itself take him to the next birth? No, there is one God. He is conscious, super conscious. He is super cognizant of everything. He knows what all we are doing and with what mindset we are doing, and focusing on all our actions along with mindset, God gives you result accordingly. To put it even more simpler in nutshell, Yashoda also wanted to bind Krishna. Duryodhana also wanted to bind Krishna. Whose effort was more? Yashoda's effort was less. You know a martyr? Martyr we say Yashoda Ulukhalam in Sanskrit, Ural in Tamil. Yashoda Ukal Bandhan they say. Yashoda bound Lord Krishna using a rope to a martyr, we all know. When I was doing Upanyasam in Dubai, one boy asked me, what is martyr, sir? Please tell me. I explained him it is used for that purpose, this purpose, it looks like the shape of 8, everything I told him. But in this modern era, people do not know what is a martyr. Finally, I told him, Yashoda tied Krishna with a grinder. Because whatever martyr did those days, grinder is doing today. But it is electric, that's one difference. So, Yashoda tied Krishna to a martyr. Just she took a rope and she tied on the abdomen of Krishna and he tied him to the martyr. Duryodhana also tried the same thing. He had hundreds of wrestlers. When Krishna came as Pandava Duta, the messenger of Pandavas, to the court of Duryodhana, Duryodhana has 100 wrestlers and they are all trying to bind Krishna. But what happened is, Krishna just stomped them away. Krishna just destroyed all those wrestlers and Duryodhana could not bind Krishna. Now you say, whose effort was more, Duryodhana or Yashoda? Effort means Duryodhana's effort was more, but he was unable to bind Krishna. Yashoda's effort, comparing to Duryodhana, it was very less, but she could bind Krishna. Why? Duryodhana's mindset, he wanted to subdue Krishna. Yashoda, she wanted to shower love on Krishna, considering him as her own child. She wanted to tie him. For that love, Bhagavan, he himself got bound to that mortar. But for Duryodhana, for his arrogance, Bhagavan will teach him a lesson. So, the efforts may differ, but what is your mindset? That's what matters to Bhagavan. So, based on your mindset, Bhagavan gives you whatever result for your karma. To be more precise, who gives you salary, your work or your boss? Then why do you work? To please the boss, we do our work. We work in our office to please the boss. But ultimately, it is the boss who has to give you salary. If your work is not up to the mark, the boss may deduct from your salary. If your work is very good, the boss will reward you. He may grant you increment and all. So, though you perform the work, though your salary is based on your work, ultimately it is the pleasure of boss. That's why in joining letter itself, people say, I assure you, sir, that I will discharge my duties to the entire satisfaction of my superiors. They don't say, I will work hard. I will discharge my duties to the entire satisfaction of my superiors. So, only when Bhagavan gets pleased, you can get the desired result for your karma. One more example for this mindset. Kanchi Annangaracharya, he is a great scholar. He was conversing with Kanchi Mahaperiyava. You might have heard Kanchi Shankaracharya, Paramacharya, Kanchi Mahaperiyava. Kanchi Mahaperiyava, Kanchi Annangaracharya, both were conversing with each other. At that time, Kanchi Mahaperiyava asked Kanchi Annangaracharya, while performing a work, is the action more important or the mindset more important? Annangaracharya replied, mindset is more important. Why? Annangaracharya pointed out to a servant, a disciple, who was waving fan to Kanchi Shankaracharya. Annangaracharya pointed out to that servant and told Shankaracharya, here there is a disciple, he is waving fan for you. More than his action of waving fan, his mindset matters the most. Because if he waves the fan thinking that I have got a great boon of serving a Mahan, serving an Acharya, with that mindset, if he waves the fan, it is very good for him. But if he waves the fan thinking that, oh, this old man has made me wave fan for him, how long will this old man sit here? How long should I wave this fan? If he waves this with this kind of mindset, then there is no use in waving the fan at all. So, more than the action, your mindset matters. So, hard work is essential, no doubt. But your intention matters the most. If your intention is dharmic, when you are inclined towards dharma, when you wish to do good for all people, when your intention is to please Bhagavan, when you have devotion in mind, when you have good thoughts, then your hard work will be rewarded. But if you do the same hard work with evil intentions, then you won't get the reward. So, if karma does everything, what is the role of God means? He only watches the karma, like the boss watching all your activities, and ultimately the boss only gives you salary. Similarly, Bhagavan only gives you result. So, dharmic tendency is important. Dharmic thoughts and mindset is important. That is point number 2. You know, Rama fell down twice during Rama-Ravana war. In Rama-Ravana Yuddham, it lasted for 7 days. Mahabharata Yuddham lasted for 18 days. But Rama-Ravana Yuddham was more intense. Though it was for 7 days, in Mahabharata war, though it was for 18 days, they come to the battlefield by 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. They fight till 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. With sunset, they will go back. It was just like a test match, test cricket. They will just come to the ground in the morning, they will play, they will have lunch break, they will have tea break, and with the post-tea session, with sunset, they will say, play stop due to bad light, and they will go back. Mahabharatam, only one day they fought after sunset. On all other 17 days, the fight was over before sunset, and after the daytime fight is over, they can go to each other's camps and they will be friends. Only during the war time, battlefield, only when they are in the battlefield, they will fight. Outside the battlefield, they will be friends. In those days, even war was conducted like sports only. But these days, even sports have become like wars. But Rama-Ravana Yuddham is a bit different. They fought in both daytime and nighttime. Because Asuras are stronger during the night. So, all through the 7 days, 24 into 7 we say, Rama-Ravana Yuddham happened 24 into 7 for 7 days. In that Rama-Ravana Yuddham, Rama fell down twice. Day to night. Indrajit, the son of Ravana, hides himself in the air. You can't see where is Indrajit, but he shoots a Nagastram, a weapon of snakes. That Nagastram binds the entire Vanara army, including Rama, Lakshmana and all other Vanaras. They fall down. Now Garuda appears in the sky, and as soon as Garuda entered the arena, all those snakes, Nagastra, they all went away, and the Vanara Sena got back and they resumed fighting. Third day night, again Indrajit, he hides himself. He attacks the entire Vanara army with Brahmastra. And again Rama, Lakshmana, entire Vanara army falls down. Hanuman, Jambavan, Vibhishana, three of them, they didn't fall down. As per the advice of Jambavan, Hanuman goes and brings the herbal mountain, Aushadagiri, says Valmiki. It has 4 herbs. Sanjeevani, it brings back a person to life. Visalyakarani, it gives strength. Sandhanakarani, it bridges fractures. Savarnyakarani, it heals wounds. Visalyakarani, Sandhanakarani, Savarnyakarani, Sanjeevani. 4 herbal medicines are there in that mountain. Hanuman brings that mountain. With the smell of all those herbs, the Vanara army, Rama, Lakshmana, they all get up. Now, why should Rama fall twice and then get up? Finally, on day 7, he kills Ravana. Why should he fall down twice and then get up? Because Rama wanted to show the universe one thing. If you adhere to Dharma, if you wish to develop positive mindset and do good to all, you may encounter such troubles, adversities in your life, but don't worry, if you stay true to Dharma, even if you fall down, you will get up again, don't worry. But if you go by the side of Adharma like Indrajit, if you employ some deceptive tactics or fraudulent methods, temporarily you may get some success, but ultimately you will encounter whatever you have to pay the price. Whatever punishment you should encounter, you have to encounter that ultimately. That's why Rama wanted to show that. In the Tamil movie, there is one dialogue. நல்லவங்களை ஆண்டவன் சோதிப்பான் ஆனால் கைவிட மாட்டான், கெட்டவங்களுக்கு ஆண்டவன் நிறைய கொடுப்பான் ஆனால் கைவிட்டுடுவான். So if you follow Dharma, there may be some troubles in between, but don't worry, you will survive. But if you go by the side of Adharma, you may get some temporary gains, but permanently you have to face the music. That's why stay true to Dharma. Based on that mindset, Bhagavan gives the reward. Part 2 is over. So if karma decides everything, what is the role of God? Role number 1 is, it is He who encourages in doing positive good karma. 2, it is He who gives us the good result based on our mindset. Now number 3, we have to get rid of this karma. Because we are all entrapped in the cycle of births and deaths. We say samsaram, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jatare shayanam. We are all born dead. We are all in the same vicious cycle. We have to enter into the womb of the mother. We are born, we suffer in this earth, and then we encounter death. Again we enter the womb of another mother. Again we are born on this earth. We have to suffer. Is there any end point to this? Why are we born? What is the reason for our birth? Karma. We have committed a lot of papam and punyam. To experience the benefits or the results of that papa punyam, we take birth. While taking birth to experience the results of those papa punyam and to subtract them, actually we add more papa punyam in this birth, and this cycle keeps on continuing. So we have to put an end to this cycle of births and deaths and achieve liberation, because as long as we are trapped in the cycle of births and deaths, life will be like ECG only. We will have both happiness and sorrows in our lives, ups and downs. That's the nature of this universe. That's the nature of this karmic cycle. That's the nature of samsara. Because if you see an ECG, the P wave will go up slightly, Q wave will come down slightly, R wave will again go up well, S wave will come down, T wave will go up. ECG has ups and downs. Only if ECG has ups and downs, it means the patient is alive. If the ECG becomes a straight line, it means patient has got visa for upper worlds. Similarly, only if life has ups and downs, there will be liveliness in our lives. When life becomes a straight line, there will be no liveliness in our lives also. So life has lots of ups and downs. That's the nature of this world. But if we want to get rid of this and be in a state of permanent bliss, permanent spiritual bliss, that is called liberation. Entering into the realm of God and enjoying God permanently and engaging ourselves in spiritual divine bliss, that is called liberation. To achieve that liberation, we have to get rid of all our karma. Whatever karma we have performed, so far we saw karma decides everything, okay. But only when we get rid of that karma, we can reach God, we can reach liberation, we can be in a state of permanent bliss. Otherwise, we have to be in this ECG state only. So if we want to go to that state, we have to get rid of this karma. How to get rid of this karma? In Bhagavata Puranam, Kapila, Bhagavan's incarnation, Kapila Vasudeva, he gives an excellent teaching regarding this. When a fetus is in the womb of the mother, by the 7th month, Bhagavan puts an LED screen for that child and shows a lot of scenes through PowerPoint or presentation likewise. In some LED screen, Bhagavan shows a lot of scenes to that child. What are those scenes? Any cricket match or movie? No. He shows scenes regarding the previous births of that child, which is in the womb of the mother, which is in the uterus of the mother. Bhagavan puts an LED screen. I'm just telling you for better understanding only. So please don't search for LED screen in the uterus. So Bhagavan just puts a TV screen and shows what are all previous births you have taken, what are all punyam and papam you have committed in all those previous births, and how you have experienced the result of those punyas and papas, and now you are going to take a human birth. Bhagavan shows everything to the fetus. So, while in the womb of the mother, the fetus decides, oh my God, I have done such and such things in all my previous births, that's why I have been suffering. The fetus puts a resolution. In this birth, I will try to get rid of all my karmas. I will try to surrender to God. I will resort to God. So, even when we were in the uterus of the mother, we were watching TV only. That's why even after taking birth, we are sitting in front of TV only. Because we are used to it while in the uterus itself. But watching all those scenes, okay, we have taken so many births, we have undergone so many sufferings, we have to put an end to it. So, the child decides that I have to get rid of my karma. How to get rid of it? I have to surrender to God only. Only God can relieve me of all my karma. So the child decides that, let me surrender to God. Let me get rid of all my karma in this birth. He decides everything. But at the 10th month, as the child takes birth during labor means delivery. Because when I was doing medical college, one minister came to visit our college. He supervised all parts of our college. And then he came to our dean. Sir, we have to appreciate you a lot, the minister told him. Why, sir, my dean asked. He told him, you are the only medical college which has a separate ward for working community. Labor ward. He understood it as different labor. He said, you have got a separate ward for working community. I have to appreciate you. He said, and well, leave it. So, okay. Oh, okay. Now, during labor, as the child comes out, there is an air in the atmosphere called Shatavayu. That Shata, that gas, it catches hold of the child, it forgets the resolution made in the uterus. That's why even if we put New Year resolution, we forget it on January 2. That's why we are used to it also, already. Already the fetus, it forgets the resolution as it is born as a baby. This Shatavayu, it catches hold of the fetus and it forgets whatever resolution made. The child there forgets, and with its latent tendencies of the previous birth, with those tendencies, it just engages itself in this material life. So this goes on and on and on. This karmic cycle goes on and on and on. We accumulate more and more karma. We can't get rid of that karma. Now, how can we get rid of that karma? The only way is, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Daivi Hyesha Gunamayi. Now the third point. To get rid of karma, Krishna says, Daivi Hyesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mamevaye Prapadyante Mayametam Tarantite. There is only way to get rid of this karma. It is just surrender to the God who has control over that karma. Because ultimately we saw, He is the boss. Boss only supervises our work and gives salary. So ultimate control is the boss, He is God. So if we surrender to God, He alone can deliver us from all our karma and grant us liberation. To put it in a simple way, a small example. If a person is drowning in water, only a person who is in the shore can give a helping hand and save him. Another drowning person cannot save him. The drowning person cannot save himself. He needs a person who has not drowned, who is safe in the shore. He alone can give a hand or a rope or something to save him. Similarly, we are all drowned in the sea of samsaram, sea of worldly existence, in the ocean of worldly existence. If somebody has to save us, Bhagavan, God, who is beyond this ocean of worldly existence, He is beyond the cycle of karma, He is unaffected by karma, that Bhagavan alone can rescue us. He alone can grant that helping hand. That's why Punarapi Jananam Punarapi Maranam Punarapi Janani Jatare Shayanam, Shankara Bhagavad Pada says, Iha Samsare Bahudustare Kripaya Pare Pagi Murare. This is very difficult to cross by ourselves. The only way is to resort to Bhagavan, because this disease of worldly affliction, this worldly existence disease, this cannot be cured by allopathy, homeopathy, naturopathy. Nothing can cure the disease of samsara. Venkatachalapathy alone can cure. So allopathy, homeopathy, naturopathy, nothing can cure. Venkatachalapathy alone can cure this disease. Vaidyo Narayano Harihi. He is the doctor for the disease of samsara. So, if we want to get rid of karma, even if we try a lot, even if we try to our fullest extent, it is near impossible for we people. Because whenever there is some technical thing, we have to leave it to the technical person to take care of it. For example, if you have some medical ailment, some people what they do, I will treat this myself by consulting with Google. They just search with Google and they will find some medicines. They will check what are all the side effects, what are all indications. They will take the tablet themselves. Is it the way to go? Or consult a good doctor or whatever it is and have treatment, which is better. Consulting a doctor, because doctor is well versed in treating your disease. So rather than keeping the responsibility with yourself, just hand over the responsibility to the trained technical person. He alone can do it. Because I had one patient in my clinic. He came to me, sir, I have fever for 2 days. Okay, sir, I started examining. Sir, please wait. I took Dolo 650. Okay, sir, then what's your problem? No, sir, even after taking Dolo 650, fever did not subside. So, I took antibiotic azithromycin 250. Okay, sir, then what can I do? No, sir, after taking azithromycin also, I have some gastritis like symptoms. I have heartburn. Okay, sir, can I give you? Sir, wait. I took pantoprazole for that gastritis also. Okay, sir, what is your problem now? No, even after taking pantoprazole, I am having some diarrhea. So I wanted to consult with you whether I can take probiotic for diarrhea or I can leave it as it is. I told him, sir, can you please sit in my chair? Why, he asked. I have to bring my daughter from school back to my home. Then how can I sit here, he asked. You have already done my duty only. It is my duty to analyze you, whether to give you antibiotic, whether to give you antipyretic, whether to give you anti-ulcer drug. Everything you have done. So you please sit in my chair. I will go to the school, pick my daughter and take her to my home. So you please watch my duty. I will do another duty. This is the case in many occasions. But rather than treating ourselves using Google, because if you just search for cough in Google, Google will say, cough will come in bronchogenic cancer. Google will say, it will say, tuberculosis also causes cough. We will get confused. But if you go to doctor, he will just examine, no, this is just common cold, nothing to worry, doctor will say. Similarly, for this karma, it is a great disease. If we try to treat it ourselves, it's very, 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 very difficult. We can't do it ourselves. Just like resorting to a doctor rather than Google. Similarly, doctor for this disease of samsara is Bhagavan. We can directly resort to him. We can leave it to his responsibility. That technical person will take care. If we go to a good doctor and have good confidence in him, doctor will take the entire responsibility of treating us. Similarly, one more experience of mine. 6 months back, one cyber criminal, he tortured me. We wanted to find him. Who is that cyber criminal? He said, I will post morphed photos of you in Facebook and all social media. You are a known person. I will defame you like that. We were all worried. Oh my God, some person is trying to defame me. What can we do? What can we do? We consulted all people. We wanted to find him out. He might be some known person. So we all searched our known circles. Who is it? Then only my friend advised, you should not take up this responsibility yourself. There is a technical person, it is called cybercrime department. You just lodge a complaint in cybercrime department, they will take care of that fellow. Similarly, we lodged a complaint in cybercrime and they caught him very soon. So everything, there is some technical department, there are some technical persons. If we leave it to them, they will take care. Similarly, for this karma also, Bhagavan is the true technical person. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, Sarva dharman parityajya मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः. सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य, just leave all the methods you undertake to get rid of your karma. We resort to a lot of methods to get rid of our karma, but we fail. So leave everything. Mamekam sharanam vraja, surrender unto me. Aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. I will deliver you from all your karma or all your sins. Ma shuchaha, you need not worry, Bhagavan says. So ultimately everything is with him. That's why whenever we do any activity, we say Krishnarpanam. We offer it to Bhagavan. So if we offer everything to Bhagavan, if we surrender to God, God has the full capacity to remove all our karma. There is no doubt about that. So this is the third point. If we want to get rid of karma, God alone can save us. So the 3 points. First, during the performance of karma, if it is a good karma, it is God who helps us, who encourages us and takes us forward. But if it is a bad karma, God watches and punishes. On the other hand, when we get result also, it is God who observes our mindset, and if our mindset is good, God gives you good results. If the mindset is not so good, Bhagavan does not give the result. So one conscious, cognizant person has to watch your mindset and then give the result. That is none but Bhagavan. Number 3, to get rid of this karma and reach liberation, get rid of the cycle of births and deaths also, it's Bhagavan who shows the way. Ultimately, Bhagavan only helps us get rid of all this karma and attain his lotus feet. If we surrender to Bhagavan, if we surrender to God, our karma gets changed into karma yogam. If you do action by yourself, it is called karma. But if you say Krishnarpanam, I offer it to God, if you offer your karma to God, it becomes karma yogam. In Bhagavad Gita, we know karma yogam. Krishna has taught a lot about karma yoga to Arjuna. He says, Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavihi, Brahmagnau, Brahmanahutam, Brahmaivatena gantavyam, Brahma karma samadhina. Krishna says, whenever you do any activity, you may be employed in an office also, no problem. You just see your instruments, whatever instruments you use in your job, you should see God within those instruments. You have some clients, you should train yourself to see God within your clients. You should see God within your working place. You should see God within your instruments. You should see God within you. You see God within everything. If you do so, then that work, that itself becomes worship. This is an exclusive concept of Sanatana Dharma. Karma Yoga, work is worship. If you see God within your client, if you see God within you, if you see God within your instruments, if you see God within your working place, if you see God within your instruments, then your work itself becomes a worship of God. Because just imagine, take the example of a doctor again. Being a medical person, it is easy for me to relate also. Take the case of a doctor. He considers his clinic as a dwelling place of Lord. God is within my clinic. He sees God within his stethoscope, sphygmomanometer and thermometer. He sees God within his patient. Now just imagine how the quality of treatment will improve. Now he sees God within everything. So the doctor treats the patient with such a mindset that the God within my patient should be pleased, not to get fees. Fees will come automatically, of course. If he treats properly, if the disease gets cured, patient is automatically going to give you the fees. At the same time, if the mindset is the God within my patient should be pleased, with that mindset, if the doctor treats the patient, the quality of service will improve. Similarly, take the case of a teacher. He sees his own school as the dwelling place of God. He sees God within students. He sees God within him. He sees God in his book, pencils, pen, everything. Now, just imagine how the quality of teaching will improve. So each of the person executes his own duty with this mindset. This becomes karma yoga. This karma yoga will help you get relieved from this samsara. Karma binds us into the worldly existence. But karma yoga, if we offer it to Bhagavan, Bhagavan gets pleased and he relieves us from this worldly existence. So, if everything is karma, what is the role of God? We started with this question. Now, if we change the karma slightly into karma yoga and offer all our activities to God, Krishna says, Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi yuktva atmanam matparayanaha in Bhagavad Gita. So, we just offer everything, whatever we do, we offer it to Bhagavan. If we offer everything to Bhagavan, whatever pluses and minuses are there, Bhagavan will take care. Ultimately, He takes on the responsibility to guide us to the highest goal, and Bhagavan will ensure that we get rid of all our karma and reach the lotus feet of God and enjoy permanent spiritual bliss called liberation. And if we achieve that liberation, we need not come back to this cycle of material existence again. So, one, during the performance of karma, Bhagavan helps us do good things. After performing our karma, Bhagavan watches our mindset and gives us good results. And ultimately, it's Bhagavan who accepts all our offerings as karma yogam and then relieves us from all our karma. So, this is the role of God. Though karma theory, everything, whatever we do comes back to us. Ultimately, the boss is God. So, let us all ensure that we live up to the expectations which that boss has on us. Because we say, I will discharge my duties to the entire satisfaction of my superiors. So ultimately, that boss, he should get satisfied with all of us. So let us take it as our one, let us take it as this day. We say Sapadam, right? Let us take a vow that we will work to please our boss, who is nothing but God. If we please him, definitely karma cannot do anything for us. So, to get rid of all the ill effects of our bad karmas, let us all surrender to God. At the same time, we should also take a vow that we should not commit sins again. Because I have surrendered to God, taking it as an advantage, we should not steal the mercy of Bhagavan. We should not keep on committing crimes. So, we have to mend ourselves. We have to offer everything to Bhagavan. He will ensure that we get rid of karma also. With this, I pray to Bhagavan, Lord Krishna, who taught karma yoga to the world. We all pray to Lord Krishna to bestow us all with very good meritorious benefits all through their lives throughout, and also the ultimate benefit of liberation at the end of the birth, so that we just get rid of this karmic cycle. With this, I conclude my speech and open this for question answer session.
Thank you, Swami, for enlightening us on this much intriguing topic. We have been for sure drenched in spiritual bliss over the last 2 hours. Right from talking about the 3 roles of God, just performing karma, giving the result of karma, and getting rid of karma, and how intent drives the result of karma, to the importance of dharmic thoughts and intentions and its link to success, and how to get out of the karmic cycle to attain liberation. We have all just been enlightened by your expertise and learnings to answer all of the burning questions we've had in relation to the result of karma and the role of God. We've had, I'm sure, for a very long time all of these questions, but you've helped answer it in a mere 2 hours. So thank you so much for that. We are all blessed to be a part of this discourse. I now open up to the audience for the Q&A session. We have some interesting questions posed by the audience yesterday, which were answered very, very efficiently by Swamiji. Due to time pressures, we will take a maximum of 10 questions today from the audience. I will pass the mic over to anybody with questions if you would like to raise your hand up so it's audible to everyone. We aim to alternate between ideally both sides of the hall to give everybody an equal opportunity to present their queries. 10, yes, I did mention that. Thank you.
நமஸ்காரம்.
My question is, கர்மாங்கிறது எப்படி டிட்டர்மின் பண்ணுறோம்? இப்போ நம்மளாம் நிறைய பேர் வெஜிடேரியனாக இருப்போம். ஏன்னா நம்ம வந்து we think that killing an animal is sin. ஆனால் நம்ம பக்கத்து ஒரு சைனாவில் எல்லாமே சாப்பிட்றான். ஸோ அவளுக்கு நமக்கு ஒரே பகவான் தானா இல்லை வேற வேறையா?
The same God for the entire universe, but He has given different dharmas for all. If you adhere to your dharma, that is punyam for you. If you go against your dharma, it is papam for you. For their dharma, for their faith, for their religion, it has been prescribed for them. So if they do it, they won't get papam. But if you do it, you will get papam. Thank you. Yes.
Like just as like mental, just a doubt. For example, as a doctor, he will be actually praying daily. Like I get patients because that's my duty, and a patient will pray that I don't get disease. So like how I was thinking, like if both of them are doing like their dharma or prayers and all. So as if God is actually deciding that, who will He be with?
Doctor is deciding. I can't get your question. Doctor, what he thinks?
No, he's like praying, for example, like I need patience so that I get survival, because for him
Okay.
to survive, he needs patience.
Okay.
And so that's his duty. It's
Okay.
not that he's wanting that.
Okay.
But as a patient, he'll pray, I don't get disease.
This is good question. But even if a patient does not have any disease, he can go to doctor for general checkup, right? Every year you can just check after 45 years or 50 years you can go once in a year to doctor. You can check your blood sugar levels, you can check your BP. So that's also healthy only. Though you go to hospital, still you are healthy. At the same time, doctor also earns his living. On the other hand, common cold, it will come for all people. It is very common. That's why it is called common cold. So if common cold comes to you, you go to your doctor. In 4 or 5 days, you are all right. So you pray to God that I need not get a big, huge disease or dangerous disease or a fatal disease. But ordinary complaints like fever, common cold, they are bound to come to every person at least twice a year. They will come and you have to go to doctor, no other go. So this cycle will go on. And not only that, many people are suffering from congenital deformities even. Right from birth, they will have problems. They have to go to doctor only. So at any cost, you might need to go to doctor for some occasion. So diseases also may be classified as some diseases, they stay with you lifelong. Some diseases come and go. So there is a variation in the pattern. So definitely this will go on. Not that everybody has, because health is defined as complete physical, mental, social, spiritual, economic well-being. That alone is health. That is not possible in this world for everybody.
But my main role was like, what's God's role? Who will He decide? Not like that.
God decides only based on your karma again. Not all are very good. We have not done only meritorious punyams to ensure that we have all got all good being. As I already said, it is like ECG only. So once P wave comes, next Q wave will also definitely come. Life is like that.
We have the next person from Amish.
Namaskaram, Swami. So you said that when Brahma prayed, that help is needed, Bhagwan came between him and Saraswati. As a married man, what do we make of this? Okay, when if I pray that I'm getting in trouble with my wife,
Definitely you can pray. Bhagavan will also come, but we are not mature enough to understand him. That's our problem. So Brahma had the maturity, and so he was able, with his divine power, he was able to see Bhagavan. But we lack that much maturity. That's all. It's our nature only. But definitely you can pray to Bhagavan, no problem. Thank you.
Swami, எனக்கு ஒரு question. நீ சொன்னீர் தப்பு பண்றவ வந்து temporarily they get things. நம்ம பார்க்குறோம், நம்ம வந்து எப்போ பாரு அவதான் people who
Temporary is, even the whole world is only transient and temporary. In this life, they may live well.
But நமக்கு வந்து how we will feel, no? Like நம்ம தான் we are trying to stay on track. There are people who don't stay and then they enjoy bliss throughout. We don't get to see.
because it always takes time, because the volume of karma is not so small. It is so huge that once you have to enjoy the effect of one punyam, for that itself it takes 2 or 3 janmas to enjoy one particular punyam. Similarly, to experience the effect of one particular papam, it takes another 2 to 3 janmas. So, a person enjoying the punyam of his previous janma will be good today. He may do bad things today, for which the result he may experience after a couple of births also. To avoid this confusion only, Rama fell down twice and then stood back. Because you may see that somebody who is following Dharma may fall down, but don't worry, he will definitely get up again. To show that only Rama did that. If you can yourself see it in practical world, Rama need not come down, Rama need not fall down, Rama need not get up again. He came, he fell down, he got up again, to show that this will happen in life. Whenever it happens, please understand. That's what Rama showed.
Those people who believe in astrology, Pariharam.
Yes.
So, in what way I keep praying to God when during good time and bad times, but still, if I want to do this Pariharam, those people who believe in that,
Okay.
how effective it is and is it
Okay.
really needed?
One, in astrology they say the graha's position of the planets is the reason for your problems. Actually, the position of planets is just an indication. Problem is due to your karma only. But that planetary position gives you an indication that this karma is going to come to you. So it can be taken as an indication. Number 2, the Pariharam Prayashchitam. They have been recommended, some have been recommended in Shastras, some they say in astrology. They help you in reducing the effects, and they will help you in giving a mental strength to face whatever adversity comes. So in reduction of the effects and providing you mental strength, they will help you to a certain extent. Thank you.
Swami, what is Prarabdha Karma? Prarabdha Karma.
Okay.
And
Sanchita Karma.
Sanchita Karma. And instead of praying for oneself, if you pray for others, does it have a greater meritorious action in terms of...
Okay, definitely. Our karma has a huge volume. It's like huge gunny bags full of rice. We have gunny bags of rice. Likewise, karma is a huge list, huge heap of gunny bags. But if we want to use rice, we will open one bag, right? The opened bag is called Prarabdha Karma. The heap of karma which has been opened to experience in this birth. So that part which has started to give you benefits is called Prarabdha Karma. Arabdha means beginning. So it has begun to give you effects. Sanchita Karma means accumulated karma which has not yet given you any effect. It may give effect in future. That is called Sanchita Karma. Now, if we surrender to Bhagavan, he removes all your Sanchita Karma at once. For Prarabdha Karma, he leaves you to experience that Prarabdha Karma in this birth and then grants you liberation at the end of the birth. This is regarding Prarabdha Sanchita. When you pray for the welfare of the whole world, will it give you better benefits? As we already saw, mindset matters more. So looking at your mindset, Bhagavan will give you multiple benefit. Then praying for ourselves, praying for the whole world, Lokakshemam, it will give you better results. Definitely. There are many precedences like that. Adi Shankara sang Kanakadara Stotram for one woman who offered him gooseberry. And the rain of gold coins, it poured for that woman only. So in Sanatana Dharmam, we can pray for the welfare of another person also. Namaskaram.
What will the bad thing be for bad karma?
Bad things. What are all you need? Bad punishments.
Yes.
Okay. It has been explained in detail in Garuda Puranam. What are all the punishments for bad actions? For example, if a person does not help other people at all, he lives for his own self, he doesn't help other people, poor and needy are there, they are starving, but he doesn't help. Then for such kind of a person, what they do is they put him in a vessel full of oil and then cook him in that vessel. This is called Kumbhi Pakam. In Anniyan Tamil movie also they show this. Kumbha means vessel. Pakam means cooking. Cooking in vessel is called Kumbhi Pakam. Similarly, if a person does harm to another person, if another person is a very good, he didn't harm anybody, but this person is harming him, he will be put in a hell called Andha Kupam. Andha means dark. Kupa means well. In dark well he will be placed, and buffaloes and other animals will be sent in to just stampede him and trouble him and cause harm to him. This kind of hell, that punishment is there. Similarly, there are a lot more. There is one hell called Rauravam. There are animals with sharp horns. They will just prick him with those horns. This kind of punishment is given for people who trouble others, who cause harm, who always cause pain to others. For such kind of harms, you have that. Similarly, there are 28 different types of hells mentioned, but you need not worry about them in this age. Just you focus on good things. There are many more good things which you can do. If you do it, you need not think about hell at all. Bhagavan will take care of you.
Namaskaram, Swamiji. My question is, how do the roles of karma and God differ in the context of individual versus collective experiences?
For collective experiences, karma does not have anything to do. Only for the individual, karma does everything. For collective thing means, they say tapatrayam, adhyatmikam, adibhautikam, adidaivikam. Adibhautikam means the problems which arise due to the other creatures. Adi Daivikam means problems coming due to natural calamities. Adhyatmikam means problem which come due to our presence within this body, health related issues and all. These are the very nature of this world. Sometimes cyclone will come, earthquake will come, volcano will erupt, tsunami will come. These are all different. They don't come under your karma. These are all nature of the world, and if it comes, a calamity happens, that's different. But your karma, the events on your life, your pleasures and pains, what you experience personally, they alone are based on your karma.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
My question is, how does someone actually know what their Dharma is?
What, the dharma or karma?
Dharma.
Dharma, okay. Whatever your acharyas and parents follow, that's your dharma. If your acharyas and parents, they belong to Sanatana Dharmic tradition, then Veda is our basic root. Whatever Vedic texts prescribe, that constitutes our dharma. If we follow the tenets, then it is punyam. If we go against those tenets, it becomes papam. So whatever our ancestors, acharyas and parents have already followed and they have taught us also, that constitutes our dharma.
நமஸ்காரம் சுவாமி. நான் தமிழிலேயே கேட்குறேன். குருங்கிறவர் தெய்வமே ஆயிடுவரா, இல்லை தெய்வங்கிற ஒரு ஸ்தானம் இருக்கா? குருங்கிறவர் தெய்வத்தை காட்டக்கூடியவரா, இல்லை குருவையே தெய்வமாக வச்சுக்கணுமா?
Guru is greater than God actually.
அது அது வேற விஷயம்.
ஆமாம், அதுதான் உண்மை.
அது உண்மைதான் சுவாமி. இப்போ ஆச்சாரியனை பூஜை பண்ணுறோம், ஆனால் தெய்வத்தையும் பூஜை பண்ணணுங்கிற வழி இருக்கா? இல்லை ஆச்சாரியனையே இப்போ ஜீசஸ் ஒரு குருவாக வச்சுக்குவோம், அவரே ஒரு தனி மார்க்கமாகவே போயிட்டா, அப்படி மார்க்கமாக போகிறதுங்கிறது சரியாக போயிடுமா? இல்லை அவர் காட்டக்கூடிய அவர் குருங்கிறவர் தெய்வத்தை காட்டணுமா?
இல்லை குருங்கிறது இப்போ நீங்கள் சனாதன தர்மத்துக்குள்ளே கேட்டால் அதுக்கு நான் ஆன்சர் சொல்கிறேன்.
அந்த மாதிரி சனாதன தர்மத்தையும் போயிட்டு இருக்கேன், அதுக்காக
சனாதன இல்லை ஹூ இஸ் குரு இஸ் ஏ டிஃப்ரெண்ட் கொஸ்டின்.
அது இல்லை, அது தெரியும். குருங்கிறவர்
ஹூ இஸ் குரு? He has to follow the Vedas. He has to implement Vedic principles in his own life also. Then only he will be called a Guru. You can worship Guru as God because we have Vaduga Nambi Sishya of Ramanuja. He worshipped Ramanuja as God. We have Totakacharya, Sishya of Shankara Bhagavad-pada. He worshipped Shankaracharya as God. We have Madhuragavi Alvar. He worshipped Nammalvar as God. So, disciple can consider his Guru as God and worship him. But Guru will never consider himself as God. Guru will say his Guru is God. So Guru will have his Guru. He will consider his Guru alone as God. So a good Guru will not say, I am God.
Namaskaram. How do we know that we are going in the right direction? So sometimes our intent is good, we want to help people, but they may not accept it. So how
Okay.
do we know we are in the right direction?
Very good question. Once your intention is good as per your conscience, because ultimately the best judge is our own conscience. As per your conscience, if you are not trying to harm anybody, if you are not having the slightest intention of hurting anybody, then you can rest assured that you are going in the right way. Bhagavan himself will guide you. Thank you.
Here. A question from yesterday that we are telling about sleep, wake up before sunrise, 98 minutes before, and in the evening you should not go to sleep. But what are the timings we can consume our sleep time after evening? Is there any specific time to?
Our Shastras don't give time frame, but usually 8 hours of sleep is good for any human being. Actually, the ratio is 8, 8, 8. 8 for sleep, 8 for work, 8 for your personal activities.
And one more question, sorry. We always pray the Vaganas like Garuda, Nandi.
Yes.
Everyone we pray there in temple.
Yes.
Any spiritual power they have that you can share now?
Okay.
Based on
Okay.
discourse, please.
Okay, sure. Nandi is considered as the foremost of the servants of Shiva. Only with the permission of Nandi you can enter into the sanctum sanctorum of Shiva. For that you have to worship that Nandi. So he is the one who permits you. Similarly here Garuda, he is the vehicle of Narayana and also the embodiment of Vedas. So you worship Garuda. But the significance of worshipping these devotees of God, actually they are also devotees. Significance of worshipping them is God gets pleased more when you worship his devotees. More than worshipping God himself, if you share your devotion to his devotees, God gets more pleased. That's why to please him, we go to him through his devotees. Because when you write a letter to a higher official, you write through proper channel. Right? Similarly, this is through proper channel. You go to the devotee and then go to God. More, yes, of course they have more power. Bhagavan will give you more power. If you go through devotees, Bhagavan will give you more power.
Namaskar. Question என்னன்னா, இப்போ for example, I do something with a good intention to, let's say, help another person. But somebody else feels that okay, that person doesn't deserve help, or maybe they know full background of the whole person, that person. So in that instance, I am doing it as like a good deed, but maybe that person deserves or doesn't deserve. How does the whole thing tally? Like, does it end up to be a good thing for me or good karma? How does it whole thing work?
I will give you one example. One king, he donated some rice to a poor man. The poor man received the rice. At that time, an eagle, it killed a snake and it was carrying the snake in the air. The snake venom from the tongue of that snake fell into that rice bowl which the king was donating. The poor man received the rice bowl, he took it home, he gave it to his wife. Wife cooked the rice and she fed all her children. They also partook that rice and everybody passed away. Now Yamadharma Raja was confused. On whom can I write this sin of killing a family? To the king? No, because king had good intention. To the man who received? No, he didn't have any bad intention. To the wife who cooked? No. For the children who ate? No. But two streets from that place, so 4 men, they were sitting in front of a shop. They were spreading gossips. Oh, this king is a bad man. He has donated something to some person. This king might have mixed some poison. That's why that whole family is gone. This king is a bad fellow. Yama wrote the sin on those 4 people. Because if you speak gossip, then this sin has to be written on them only. The intention is, if you have not done anything wrong intentionally, that sin will never come to you. Though your family was killed, the king did not have that intention. So only when you have the intention of hurting anybody, you will incur sin. Otherwise, no sin will come to you.
We have two hands here, but you decide.
That's the last three questions we'll take.
Yeah,
for the
that's
next-
it.
That's the last three.
Sorry.
Namaskaram, Swami. How we can make Sanatana Dharma as a Vishwa Dharma? Because Sanatana Dharma leads to Vishwa Shanti.
Okay.
So how we can make it?
Definitely, very good question. Actually, Sanatana Dharma, as we saw yesterday, it is the eternal set of rules or a way of life that guides every person to the ultimate good. Actually, Sanatana Dharmam is not an external entity. It's actually an internal entity. The inherent qualities which each person has to develop to become an ideal human being. For example, if a cuckoo sings sweetly, you will call it as an ideal cuckoo. So singing sweetly is the Sanatana Dharmam of a cuckoo. If a peacock dances beautifully, it is the Sanatana Dharmam of peacock. So the inherent qualities, the inherent attributes which make a perfect organism is the Sanatana Dharmam for that organism. Similarly, the inherent qualities of truth, speaking the truth, doing good for others, having forbearance and patience, and keeping up our word, our promise, obeying our elders, following the way of our ancestors, everything constitutes Sanatana Dharma. So, if a person develops all these internal qualities within himself and leads an ideal way of life, then definitely that person can be called a Sanatana Dharmi. So, Sanatana, that's why we don't follow this conversion and all. Because conversion is external conversion. Actually, Sanatana Dharmam is an internal entity. So, we have to bring in this internal transformation of developing all these dharmic tendencies within the minds of each person. For that, whatever might we can contribute, we shall continue to do, and it's everything in God's hands only. So, on our part, let's just contribute to spread this thing. Good positive mindset along with good thoughts and dharmic tendency within the mindset of any person makes him a Sanatana Dharmi. Thank you.
One question from your big fan.
நமஸ்காரம். ஒரே ஒரு கொஸ்டின் தமிழில் கேட்குறேன் உங்ககிட்ட. லைக் நம்ம சின்ன வயசுலேருந்தே கேட்குறோம் இந்த மாதிரி அம்மா அப்பா பண்ணுற புண்ணியங்கள் குழந்தைகளுக்கு போய் சேருது. அது எவ்வளோ உண்மை? லைக் அம்மா அப்பா பண்ணுற குட் கர்மாவாக இருக்கட்டும், எனிதிங். இப்போ அது வந்து எவ்வளோ தூரம் குழந்தைகளுக்கு எஃபெக்ட் ஆகும்?
Okay. Okay. Mainly your life is decided by your karma alone. Because your main credit to your account comes from your salary only. But occasionally gift from parents we write in the IT statement. Similarly, some sins and punyams from parents come. Just like the wealth of parents coming to their children, this occasional karma of parents will also come to their children, but it is negligible, just like gift amount only. You need not pay much income tax for that. Similarly, you need not have much experience of happiness or sorrow for those punyams. Actually, yours only, decide yours.
Thank you, sir. One last question on behalf of the entire audience, like yesterday. So, we are seeing a lot of children getting married and coming and living overseas. Unlike India, they don't have the extended family, parents, all those to support them when they go through a troubled time. So when they are in Australia, they get a lot of ego issues, but everybody who is older enough will know that every family will have that issue. But what we are seeing is a lot of children don't have that patience, so they just get separated. So what can people living in overseas do so that they can, strengthen that bond?
Strengthening family bond, husband-wife.
Yes, husband-wife. Especially when they are new, living in Australia.
Okay. Point number one, we have to interact more within the family, because that interaction is coming down. Because husband and wife, they are separately chatting in their mobile phones, but they are not speaking with each other. Even if they are sitting together, they won't speak with each other. He will have a cell phone, she will have a cell phone, and they will be speaking with somebody else. If this interaction improves, understanding also improves. In those days of landline phone, if the landline phone rings, the whole family will converge towards the landline phone. But while cell phone came, we will be sitting together. But if every person's cell phone rings, father goes to outside, mother goes to kitchen, son runs to first floor, daughter runs to bedroom. Everybody is diverging because of this cell phone. So just keep everything apart and speak out your mind, whatever you feel, just share with your partner. That's the first important thing, because we don't share our feelings in the initial stages. We just let it grow, and once it breaks or blasts, it becomes a terrible incident, and that results in breakup and all those things. So the first thing is they have to start interacting more. Actually, not in Bharatadesham or Australia, everywhere the cell phone is the big menace. So just keep it aside and start. They're clapping. Okay. Just keep it aside and start interacting more with families. And number 2, in Vedas, there is no speech about divorce at all. But the same Veda, there was one Vedic conference held. They wanted to know, in law there is room for divorce. In Veda, is there any room for divorce in Sanatana Dharma? Sanatana Dharma does not have any mantra for divorce, because we say mantra for marriage. Is there any mantra for divorce? My Acharya said, no. There is mantra for uniting the minds of people who are ready for divorce. That's the greatness of Sanatana Dharma. Even if some people wish to get separated, we can't chant Vedic mantras. The important mantra is they have to sit together. In homes, we do Samaradhanam. In that Samaradhanam, after offering food to great Vedic Pandits, they ask the husband and wife to sit facing each other. They have to look eye to eye and chant this mantra, Apashyantva manasa chekitanam tapaso jatam tapaso vibhutam, saying, the husband tells the wife, Apashyantva manasa, I am seeing you with my mental eye, with my internal eye, not based on external appearance. I am seeing you with my internal eye. I am just looking at your good qualities, and I have got you out of my tapas. A good wife is the result of the tapas of that person. And she repeats, Apashyantva manasa didhyanam swayam. I also look at you with my internal eyes. And I also realize that I have got this good husband out of my tapas. If husband and wife look at each other eye to eye at early morning, chanting these mantras, then there will be no separation between them. This has been mentioned in Vedas. Now, in USA, they have published a book, 100 Ways to Avoid Divorce. The first point they have written is, husband and wife should wake up in the morning and see eye to eye. They have written. You can add this to Sanatana Dharma and Science, yesterday's topic also. They have written, so we have the ways. So if we perform the marriage in a proper Vedic way, on the 4th day of marriage, because our Vedic marriage is actually 5-day marriage. My marriage was 5-day marriage. In June 2019, I observed Vratam for 8 days before marriage, and then 15 days after that, marriage started and went on for 5 days. In 5-day marriage, on the 4th day early morning, they do Sesha Homam. They ask the bride and bridegroom to be seated in front of each other, ask them to look at eye to eye and chant this mantra so that their married life does not get separated. So we have got mantras and other things. This is on other hand. Practically on one hand, they can do this. Another thing is, as they get more interested towards our traditional texts of Sanatana Dharma, our minds will become mature, pure and clear. Only when our minds are turbulent, filled with negativities, we always think negatively, we can get separated, we can file for divorce. All those thinking comes only when our mind is full of negativity, mind is full of stress. But as you involve yourselves in spirituality, as your mind gets tuned to the divine attributes of God, your mind will see everything in a positive way. Even if your partner does something wrong, he will look at it in a positive way. Actually, though time is going on, I will finish with a short story. A husband and wife, they live in a home. The wife, she had fetched a pot with water and kept at the entrance of the house, and she had gone to fetch another pot of water. The husband came inside, he didn't look at the pot, and he kept his foot at the pot and he fell down. The wife came, husband was angry. Oh, will you place this pot at the entrance? See, I have fallen down. You idiot, he said. She said, "You idiot, don't you have eyes? Don't you look properly? I have brought a pot of water, but you have just pushed it down. Water is going. Now I have to go again to fetch water." Both of them started fighting. The same scene, husband fell down, wife comes with another pot of water. Husband said, "Sorry, I didn't notice that you had placed the pot of water. Sorry." Wife said, sorry, I only placed the pot at the entrance. It's my mistake only." He said, "No ma, you brought the pot of water long way from the river. You should have experienced a lot of back pain." No, my pain is different. You have fallen down. You will have a lot of back pain. Let me apply Iodex." She said, "Now you tell me which family will be good, first or second?" Spirituality gives you that mindset.
Thank you, Swami, once again for wielding some of the very tricky questions with such ease and efficiency. Thank you so much. You further enlightened us over the last 20 minutes or so. I now request Sampath, Prashant and Karthik to come on stage to do the Sabha Maryade and offer the Sambhavanam to Swami.